Hello, my friends. So, the last couple of days have been interesting in Girl World. I was able to catch the members only live, the 8th one, and oh my god, it is a train wreck. I mean, she really is hitting rock bottom. I mean, she is really crashing out like hard, and I would feel sympathy and be sad, but we know who we're dealing with, so I really am kind of here for it, honestly. And then also, Beck and Destiny did a collab. What took them so long? This is awesome. I wish that they had done this years ago, but this is great. I'm here for that too. And after I recorded my responses to the first couple of things, Amber responded. So I'm actually going to put some of that in here too. So her responses are going to be sort of sprinkled throughout the video. And a lot of the just interesting things from her most recent Crash Out Live is going to be at the end. So yeah, this will be just sort of a montage of the Destiny Beck collab, the members only live, and then her regular live that she did where she's continuing her Crash Out. Guys, we are eating good right now. So anyway, this is the Destiny Beck collab and members only live number 8. If you'd like to like and subscribe, that would literally be hectic. I'm not gonna lie. They had talked about how Amber was involved with a married person. They don't really say any names, but when it comes to Casey, as you can see here, Amberlynn messaged Destiny saying Casey won't talk to me anymore, and basically acting like Amberlynn wanted to talk to Casey, but he won't talk to her anymore. So yeah, I probably wouldn't want to talk to her either. And if you don't know the whole Casey story, I will post a link to a video in the corner. But let's hear what Destiny has to say about this particular message.
I don't know why she was trying to talk to Casey, like, at all, because this was right after all that stuff happened with Casey. So, like, I don't know
why would she be asking Casey won't talk to me anymore? Because you just accused him of something awful?
Yeah, and all that boiled down to was that she used the wrong word.
I know, it absolutely breaks my heart because that could have potentially ruined everything for him forever.
I mean, anyone can Google your name when you go to put in for a job, and someone could have easily seen that, connected to him.
Right.
And been like, dude, there's all this stuff about you on the internet. I don't know if I want my company to be a part of what you got going on.
Yeah.
But Amber doesn't care. It's not going to affect her, so who cares? And the worst part is, in present day, she is tripling down on the Casey allegations.
Remember when I shared my story about Casey, and I still stand by every single thing I said about Casey. I still stand by that. No one believed me. No one believed a single thing I said. That has been one of the most torturous things that I've ever gone through in my actual lifetime.
Even though after the allegations, after Rain and Petals eavesdrop, she couldn't figure out why Casey didn't want to be her friend anymore. So Amberlynn is claiming that the Casey in the texts is not the Casey from Rain and Petals eavesdrop.
And also in the screenshots, there was a thing where it was like, Casey won't talk to me. And they're both like, ex-Casey. No, that is not who I was talking about. Because that screenshot that they were showing was from March. And me and Casey stopped talking like 2 years before that. So I wasn't talking about Casey. No, before Beck, like I was flirting with a few people and they mentioned one. But there was like 3 people that I was flirting with. And one of them, their name was Casey.
I don't know, because there are a couple ways to look at this. Number one, if it was Casey, Destiny would know that, because at this point in those messages, Destiny knows everybody that Amberlynn is talking about, even the married person. So if Amberlynn mentioned Casey, I would think Destiny would know what Casey Amberlynn is talking about. I don't think she would be mistaken about that. However, on the other side of this, I also know that Amberlynn will not respect pronouns unless forced to. Even in her members only lives, she really skirts the line and she kind of goes back and forth and she lets her chat get away with it. Especially back then, I am convinced that she probably would have used his dead name. So I don't know. It could be a different Casey, just simply because we know how horrible Amberlynn is. And I think that if she was going to talk about Casey, she would have dead named. But again, on the other side of that, I also think Destiny would have known who she's talking about. So I don't know. That's a toss up on that one. So in this one, there's a message that says Rarity got out. That was a little bit of foreshadowing there. But the main gist of this part of the conversation was Destiny is talking about how Amberlynn would basically make Destiny take her to the grocery store once a week, every Sunday. And Destiny just being kind and knowing that Amber has no other alternatives or no other options, just did it. So let's see what they have to say about that. And then I've got some thoughts right after that.
And she was getting a lot of takeout food because she didn't drive. She didn't have a car. So she always had food delivered. And even though on Sundays, that was one of the main things she made me take her to do was grocery shop. And she wouldn't grocery shop for more than a week at a time.
You know why she didn't get more than 1 week at a time is because that way she could see Destiny more or make Destiny take her out there more, you know? It was a manipulation tactic. I'm only going to get enough for the week. That way next Sunday, I know that Destiny will take me again. Because Amberlynn is staggeringly entitled, right? She just assumes that Destiny will just take her no matter what. And the more often, the better. So she was able to manipulate her way to once a week, when really once a month was probably okay, or every couple weeks, especially since she probably didn't need to get produce because we all know she doesn't really eat it. And we're going to go over that too. So let's get to that.
And then I was like, also, why am I taking you grocery shopping when you're clearly just ordering out to eat anyway?
Right. And I mean, she was having you do this 4 times a month.
Every Sunday.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I could see doing it once or twice a month, but not 4 times a month.
And me and her would argue every time about, you really need to start grocery shopping more of ahead of time. But no, she only wanted to do it for like a week at a time.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, just ended up throwing most of it away because, you know, she always bought like produce and stuff and then not eating it.
Yeah,
And,
I witnessed that.
But there was like, when we would go over there on Sundays to do those things with her, like it would just be trashed. Like all the takeout stuff would be everywhere. You know, she wasn't walking Twinkie, so Twinkie's stuff was everywhere. The cats, everything would need to be done for the cats. She was just letting it go to crap.
I'm not surprised. Are you surprised? In fact, what I am surprised about is how clean her current apartment looks these days. So I guess the only real explanation is either she has matured and grown up and actually cleans her apartment. I can't say that with a straight face. Or there are some spaces in her apartment that are just disgusting, right? That she just throws all of her shit. Like her laundry room can get pretty out of control, but generally when she's like filming and stuff, it looks pretty clean. So I just wonder if she just takes all the stuff from that room and just tosses it into like a closet or whatever. But when it comes to Twinkie, I am pretty convinced that she just cleans up after her rather than take her outside. You know what I mean? The mop handle is good evidence of that.
Unless she thought you were coming over or what have you.
Isn't that funny that, oh, Beck's coming over, I better clean up all the dog shit and just get it all nice and clean and tidy so that Beck comes over. That's not a great way to start a relationship, just like pretending to be clean. But I mean, what else are you going to do? I guess you're not going to let a new girlfriend come over and see your dog shit everywhere. But this is about the time that she was having the bed bugs too. I'm pretty sure.
I literally had no idea until I saw how the guest room got, how she let it get.
Yes.
And that's when I was like, oh my God.
And that was part of the reason I wanted to stay with Dana all the time, is because I didn't want to sleep in the bed with her anymore. But it was like I didn't have a choice, because if I slept in the guest room, it would be disgusting.
Yeah.
Talk about a rock and a hard place. God, that would suck. Your two choices are to sleep in the nasty garbage dog shit infested guest room or sleep with the 600-pound garbage in Amberlynn's bed. I don't like either of those choices. So yeah, that must have really sucked for Destiny, you know? So after Destiny and Amber broke up, of course, they lived together for a while, and Amber basically made Destiny sleep in bed with her. And we just saw that Destiny didn't have much of a choice. You know, it was a terrible choice. But when Destiny started talking to Dana, Amberlynn would still try to get Destiny to sleep in the bed with her, even though Destiny was talking to Dana. Like, that's so fucked up. But let's hear what the solution was. And also don't forget that at the beginning of Destiny and Dana's relationship, Destiny was still technically living at Amberlynn's house. That was her home.
So that's why I ended up staying with Dana more than anything. And that's probably why she's assuming I like moved out. But it was because I was barely staying home, because who wants to stay home with that?
Right, exactly. And it's like, also, dude, if you and Dana were, dating and together at that point, it would have been wrong for you to still have slept in the bed with Amber. And for her to even
Yeah.
ask that of you is so wrong.
Yeah. And she would all the time. That's why. And then, like, when I did plan on spending the night at my own house, Dana would just come with me.
And that had to eat Amberlynn's lunch, that had to just grind her gears. She opens the door, Destiny walks in, and Dana walks in with her. Amber's like, shit, I wanted to sleep with Destiny tonight. Oh, that's, it's the little things. We got to take our little victories every once in a while. Of course, right now in Girl World, we are getting probably the biggest victory we've had in a long time. This is the best crash out we may have ever seen. Because Amberlynn is at rock bottom, maybe. I keep thinking she hits rock bottom and then she just keeps digging herself deeper. So we're going to see that here in a minute. We're going to go over her rock bottom because it's bad, man. It is so bad. I'm not sure what to think about this one. This is just crazy. You can see Destiny is getting really tired of Amber's shit and constantly bugging her and asking her to take her places and do things for her. And at some point, Destiny says, I don't care, Amberlynn. Holy shit. Quit caring about yourself for 1 minute. I don't feel good today. I'll do it next time you're home. And Amberlynn Reed said, I never care about myself. That's the problem. That is the funniest thing I think I've ever read. A picture of Amberlynn Reed saying I never care about myself. That's the problem. Yeah, okay, Amber. That's so funny, man. And so Destiny says, nothing with you is easy. You've always got to be complicated. I'm so tired of dealing with you. And so this is even better. So this is a continuation of just stupidity. Amber then backs down and says, I'm sorry. Not trying to be complicated. If I could do it myself, I would have already done it. I only ask for help when I truly need it now. And then she says, other than that, I try not to bother you. Yet, I gave you $20 for your birthday. I'm not that bad, Destiny. What the fuck? What? So this message is so Amberlynn coded, right? Anytime you ever hear Amberlynn say, I've helped somebody or I did something for you or did something for somebody, she's always talking about buying something or paying something. It has to do with money. And so this is a message that she sent to Destiny. And I guess it was like a coworker of Destiny's and they just said something and Amber thought they were talking behind her back. And so we're going to skip this first part, but it says, like, I try so hard to be cool with you guys and help you when you need it. Buying you food, gonna pay for Cheesecake Factory, and help when you needed your electricity on, etc. Like, what did I do to constantly deserve people always talking about me and making me seem like some horrible person when I'm not? What I tell you to in confidence is purely just for your guys' ears, and not everyone else's. I respect you two, and I really wish y'all would respect me as well. So, yeah, she expects you to do what she wants because she's buying you things. She pays for stuff for you, and in return, when she says jump, you say how high. Whether it's respect or attention, affection, responses when she sends you a message. I mean, she's paying for stuff, so you owe it to her.
I was thinking about that too. You know how she would hold this stuff over everybody's heads anytime she would do something for them. But most of the time, it was her being like, I want to go out to eat. I want to go out to eat. And everybody else would be like, we don't have the money. And she'd be like, but I'll pay for it. Don't worry.
That makes it even worse, right? Like, it's already bad enough that she will buy stuff for people and then hold it over their heads. But then on top of that, they didn't even want to go in the first place. She basically forced them to go because obviously they don't want to deal with her attitude or her tantrum if they say no, because she's got to have Cheesecake Factory now. And when they go, then she acts like the saint that paid for everybody, right? Oh, don't worry, I'll take care of it. But now that she's paid for it, you owe her, even though she was the one that made you go in the first place. Imagine having the audacity to say, why are you talking behind my back? I buy you Cheesecake Factory, so you owe it to me, not to XYZ, whatever it is. Like, that's just wild, man. And speaking of money and holding it over people's heads, in this one, they are planning a surprise party for Dana, and Amberlynn ruined it. And so Destiny just says, I'm tired of trying to make all these plans, and you make it so complicated, and it's really annoying. And then Amber says, it's just annoying that I give you $300 for Christmas. I gave you both money for your birthdays, etc., and you get me nothing. You didn't even tell me happy birthday. Like, that's just Amberlynn, man. That is just her. And it sounds like she's saying, I gave you $300, so you've got money to buy me stuff, right? That the gift that she gave should be used to buy her a gift. That is so messed up. So this is from her most recent live, where she is kind of responding to the Beck Destiny collab, but she's really just crashing out some more. And here's where she talks about money and being used.
Tired of, like, I don't know, for the longest, like, I was being used for the longest by so many people at once. I called it the Amberlynn Bank.
So, of course, she has to talk about how much she gave and how much money she paid for people. That is all that matters to her. When she says, I was being used, it always comes back to money. Because all she did, that's the only way she knew how to get what she wants, is to pay money and then hold it over people's heads, whether they wanted the thing or not. So this message, I thought, was just funny and a great example of Amber's narcissism and her thought process that the entire world has to revolve around her. Somebody posted a status and Amber thought it was about her, and it wasn't, but it said something about a YouTuber or something. So she just assumed it was about her and would not believe anybody when they told her it wasn't. She says she posted a status about me, and then when they say that's dumb, so Amber says, I'm pissed. And Destiny says, how do you know it's about you? Seriously? Okay, Destiny, act dumb. It's definitely about me. And she says, how do you know? And she says, down here, she says, okay, ask her. And so Destiny asks her. It says, it wasn't about you. And Amber says, LMAO, lies. Like, you said to ask her. They asked. And then you just didn't believe what they said. That's so crazy. And then Destiny says, she said it was some other YouTuber. And Amber says, you're actually going to believe this? That's so stupid. Oh my gosh. That is so wild. And she says, yeah, she said it was about a YouTuber. And guess what? I'm a YouTuber, lol. And then when Destiny calls her out and says, not everything is about you, you know, Amber stops and says, well, I know it was just a weird coincidence and it made me feel really bad. And this is just, you know, when we were talking earlier about the Sunday grocery trips that Amberlynn would basically make Destiny take her on. This is, I mean, talk about entitlement. She says, I need to go grocery shopping. Okay. And tomorrow is Sunday. Like, they had broken up. Destiny had no obligation to take her anywhere. But that's just like oh, Destiny, what a fucking asshole. And then the way this continues is one of my favorite parts of this whole thing. This is wild that Amberlynn has the audacity to text something like this, but I love the response when Destiny calls her out on it.
We will one of the days. I take you out. Can't happen tomorrow. Sorry.
There is a lot I have to get before Beck comes, and it's like you don't even care. I have not even gotten my blanket.
What does she even mean by that? What blanket?
I don't know. Like, you know how she was. Like, she liked to have the blankets over her, like, to cover herself.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Yeah, she had to cover herself all the time so nobody else was looking at her ankles.
I want to say there was a blanket that she saw at Target, but she didn't get it, and she wanted to go again and, like, made up her mind to get it. So
so she wanted you to take her to go get it before I came over.
Yeah, she probably thought about it all the time, but since she can't take herself, she has to bully somebody else to take her to get a fucking blanket.
Yeah, and you know where Target is? Lexington.
Mm-hmm. So she was expecting you to take her from Berea all the way to Lexington.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
I don't know what the date was for this one, but like I said, I didn't move out. I'll move out until like May.
Right.
I was
So, I
just
mean,
there 90% of the time because of a situation she put me in when I went home. So,
that was still just a lot of back and forth anyway.
oh God, yeah.
All right, so where were we? Okay, first of all, I don't have to care. I told you I would help you, and I am. Just because it's not on your time doesn't mean I don't care. Second of all, you've had like literally a month to either order it or is take you.
I think
Not
like
my
she
fault.
tried at me. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is no way this is destiny.
I love that. So Destiny says, cut the shit out, okay? You're being a drama queen. And she says, there is no way this is destiny. I love that.
Oh, okay. I see what you're trying to say. You're trying to say, or I take you, not my fault.
Yeah. Which I'm pretty sure that was me, but I think I had Dana typing it for me because I was probably driving, because I was always driving, either driving us to work, driving us home from work, or driving all the way out to do something for her.
I mean, yeah, I can imagine Dana, like, they're driving and Destiny says, we respond to that. And Dana's like, yeah, I'll be really nice about it. First of all, shut up. So that was just wild. And obviously there's a ton more that they go over. It's like a 2-hour video. And I just picked out a few that I thought were pretty interesting and funny. But on top of this, Amber also went live, and I'm going to go over that right now. Okay, so I was lucky enough to have somebody help me out in watching this live stream. And I obviously can't show any of it. But the crazy thing is, it was really just a rambling mess of drunken sadness. You know, she is doing what is called a narcissistic collapse. It's where when a narcissist has been backed into a corner and they've tried Darvo, they've tried everything they can think of to kind of weasel their way out of responsibility or accountability, they lose it. They can't handle it. And that's what's happening now. This is her crash out. You know, she's at the beginning of rock bottom. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of satisfying because this feels like it's long overdue, you know? So I'm just going to pick some snippets and little clips that might be interesting or funny. The whole thing is honestly pretty boring, but there are a few things that were kind of dumb and worth talking about. And I'm going to play some audio, and I don't want to play too much. So I'll probably be half narrating and half playing some of the clips. But yeah, it was a train wreck, you guys.
I'm only going to be on here until my phone dies, I've decided. So whatever comes first, that or the 2 hours, okay? Like, I'm having a hard time mentally. I've been very vocal about that I'm taking a break from YouTube, and all of the supportive people who are actually, you know, people with critical thinking and understanding and empathy. They're like, you don't even have to go live. Are you joking me?
What she means is enablers. People who just kiss her ass, tell her how wonderful and beautiful she is, and never give her any criticism. They're like, hey, no, you don't have to go live, even though we're paying you to be in your live streams and stuff like that, which I call bullshit on that. You know what I mean? But that's who she is talking about when she talks about people with critical thinking skills and kind people and stuff, are just people who will listen to her and just take everything she says as gospel. So it's kind of funny. Throughout the entire live, there were several times where people would say, hey, can we get our money back? Because this is really boring and you've kind of lost your mind. So I don't want to do this anymore. Can we get a refund? And it may have been trolls, but she actually addressed that at one point. And she said, I don't know if I can even give refunds. I don't know how that would work.
Like, you can't put words in my mouth. I will just end this live, actually, because I think I need to have, like, one night in my life where I'm not fucking feeling hectic. Because I'm telling you, I'm feeling hectic. You guys don't even know.
What does she mean, just have one night? Like, what does she do most nights? She only works 15 minutes a day. I don't know what she thinks getting off the live will do that is any different than any other night she has in her entire life, right? Let's say she gets off the live to have her quote unquote one night where she's not hectic. How is that any different from last night or tomorrow night? It's the exact same thing. Whatever you did last night, probably drink and smoke Delta 8. And whatever you're going to do tomorrow night, probably the same thing. That's exactly what you're going to do. So, what an idiot.
Why do you even call her Tommy then? I think it's because I'm like a respectful girly pop, you know?
remember, when asked, why does Amberlynn call you Tommy? Emily said, I don't know. She just started calling me that. So even now, Amberlynn is claiming that she does it out of respect. And I want to show you, this is the face that she made when she said that. She kind of did a little like, what are you going to do? She said, I'm a respectful girly pop. What are you going to do? And she made that face. I just think the whole Tommy thing is so stupid. And she also takes a ton of breaks. I didn't count them all, and I'm not going to go back through and count them, but I would guess like 6 or 7 that she like goes to the bathroom and is gone for several minutes, and she points the laptop screen up to the ceiling. But yeah, it was constant, and people kept complaining about it. And she also eats basically the entire time. She's always got like carrots with French onion dip, or she's got bags of chips, just all kinds of stuff. She is eating the entire time.
Window lawyer reveal when. Never. I don't want you guys to touch them. They're everything.
So she talked about her lawyer a lot. There were several questions about the lawyer, and she even said, oh, he's so cute, you guys would like him, and all this stuff. And of course, she's talking about the lawyer that she's apparently and supposedly hiring to go after the ankle, which we all know is just stupid. And it's so funny that she thinks that actual people believe it. And I don't consider babies actual people. They're just weirdos. So, yeah, no, she talked a lot about the lawyer. And then she starts playing Truth or Drink. And basically, obviously, she's choosing the questions. And she tells, quote unquote, truth about all kinds of really stupid crap that does not mean anything. But anytime anybody asks her a hard question, or she picks one that is, you know, kind of difficult, she just drinks. Of course, she's drinking anyway. But yeah, Truth or Drink with very little truth.
Alexis wanted me and her girlfriend to make out so bad when we were all hanging out. But Tommy, hate the name. Tommy was like, nah, that's my girl. I mean, she didn't say it like that, but.
Of course, she had to throw in that whole, Tommy said, no, that's my girl. Like, again, it's that narcissism. She has to tell everybody that she's wanted. She has to say that somebody loves her and somebody wants her.
Alexis, you literally, like, I want you to watch this, honey bun. You literally wanted me to make out with your girlfriend.
I love that she thinks that's the tea, right? That's some big thing that everybody's going to go, oh, no, you know, nobody cares. You know, Alexis has all of these receipts, all of these texts, all this tea. And Amber comes in and says, oh, yeah, well, guess what? She wanted me to make out with her girlfriend. Dun, dun, dun. Like, nobody cares. So I think that's all the tea she's got, you know? Now she's saying as much as she can because she's decided, you know what? I'm going to let the world know the tea that I've got on Alexis.
We had phone sex, me and Alexis. Yes, we did. Yes, we fucking did.
And nobody is surprised. Everybody knew that for whatever reason, Alexis had a crush on Amberlynn when they first started talking. Like, yeah, we know. And again, gross, but come on, nobody cares.
You can make fun of my walking all day long. All day long. I don't. Alexis, like, daily was like, let me come to you so we can make out and cuddle and all this stuff. And, like, I kept, like, leading her on. I'm sorry.
And number one, we knew, again, that Alexis wanted Amber. We knew that. Nobody cares. And then I was just leading her on. Like, she probably was, honestly. But I love that now she's going to admit it because she thinks it's better to look like an asshole and say I let her on than to let Alexis win, right? Because all this time, I think Amberlynn was holding that back, saying I was leading her on because she knew it would make her look like a dick. But now, again, she's kind of hit rock bottom. So she's like, fuck it. I'm just going to say it. But the thing is, again, nobody cares. Like, we all knew that. So this is nothing new. This is no tea at all.
This situation with Alexis, she wanted me to make out with her girlfriend.
Again, she really is trying to drive that point home. She wants everybody to think that this is serious tea, you guys. Nobody cares. And of course, she talks about BPD constantly. Every time somebody brings up something that she's done, something that she said, it's always BPD. And she explains BPD, and I don't think very accurately, but she kind of just talks about emotions and, you know, typical Amberlynn, Dunning-Kruger BPD talk.
Caitlin, you're so dumb, like I can't. I don't think people, like, when people are like, you blame everything on BPD, I'm like, do you not realize that that's a personality disorder? BPD is a personality disorder. It's like who you are, fundamentally who you are as a person. Yeah, very much I'm going to say, yep, that's BPD. I'm sorry to tell you. And people get so fucking mad about it. Like, it's so weird. Like, go mental health shame to somebody else, because I'm personally not having it anymore. See, the thing with borderline personality disorder, it is a personality disorder. You know, it's hard for me to ever give a reason for something, you know, when BPD is the fuel to the way I react to some things or whatever it may be. Like, it's hard for me to be like, that's not the reason, when, you know, when it is.
So it sounds like she just kind of made that up and decided that sounded pretty good, that it's a personality disorder. I think that's going to be her new BPD catchphrase going forward.
Truth or Drake, if you could have any superpower, what would it be? I want to be able to, like, snap my fingers and be anywhere with no consequences. Like, Vegas, Bora Bora, Fat Camp with Keemstar. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so isn't that interesting? Out of all the superpowers that you could possibly think of, hers has to do with transportation. Now, don't get me wrong. Would it be nice to be able to just snap your fingers and be anywhere? Sure, absolutely. But leave it to the person who has never been able to travel or even just go to the store on their own. Leave it to them to pick the superpower that would let them go places and be mobile and go do things. I mean, I know what Fat Camp with Keemstar means, but I don't know why she's saying she would want to be there. Do you think she's going to do Fat Camp? I doubt it. I just don't see her sharing the spotlight with strangers, you know? So now we're just going to get into the most recent live where she is kind of addressing the Beck and Destiny collab and just more craziness.
so Destiny's pretty laid back. And we have Beck over here just, like, purposely trying to, like, make the narrative as, like, devilish as possible. And I'm just like, Beck is one of the biggest manipulators I have ever in my life known. Very big manipulator. And they were doing it in the video. And I don't know. And then
Darvo, anybody? And isn't it wild that Beck and Destiny are basically saying the same things? They're agreeing. They're, like, laughing together at all these messages and stuff. They are friends now. But Amber is giving Destiny a pass and not Beck. I wonder why. She is really, really trying to paint Beck as this master manipulator and abuser when there are years of videos online showing that Amberlynn was just horrible to Beck. Beck is super chill, super quiet, and we've been able to see for years the behavior that Beck is talking about right now. So for Amberlynn to think that she can come on here and try to turn it and try to spin things to where Beck is the abuser and the manipulator is just wild. This is a spiral. This is absolutely crashing out. She's losing her grip on reality.
Beck is a grifter. Hold on. We're going to chat JBT real quick.
So notice she doesn't know what grifter means. She had to go to ChatGPT to look up the word grifter.
A grifter is a person who engages in various forms of deception, fraud, or manipulation to gain money or other benefits, often through dishonest or unethical means. Grifters typically use charm, persuasion, or trickery to swindle others, often operating in schemes like scams and cons or swindles.
So obviously she didn't know what grifter meant, but once she read it, now she's trying to say that Beck is a grifter, right? After all these years, Beck finally speaks out and starts telling the world what happened in the relationship. This is not surprising that Amberlynn, at this point, given no other options, right? She's lost control and is now trying to paint Beck as a grifter. Like, yeah, I'm not surprised that she's doing that, but it's still pretty messed up. We have all of these videos showing Amberlynn treating Beck like crap. And when Beck says something about it, Amberlynn tries to make them a villain. Narcissist 101.
Have you ever realized that common denominator is you? I hate the saying the common denominator thing. Thank you for the super chat, by the way, because we're all the common denominator. So that's just the way that I view it.
That's a really stupid way of looking at it, because most people don't have the terrible run of relationships that she has, right? So the point of saying you're the common denominator is every relationship you have ends in disaster. The common denominator is you, where lots of people have relationships that are just fine. So she's probably intentionally missing the point, because she's basically saying, yeah, everybody's the common denominator for everything. So, you know, but the idea is you're the common denominator in your terrible relationships. Every time you've been with somebody, it has ended terribly. You're the common denominator. Whereas a person who has a relationship that's just fine, you don't need to say you're the common denominator, because they don't have a history of having terrible relationships.
You know what surprises me? I have been in a lot of drama stuff online, a lot. I don't think I've ever gotten this much support during something like this.
To me, that feels like a lot of cope, right? And I don't doubt that she is getting some support, and I am still just flabbergasted at how many people like her and want to give her love and just kiss her ass. But I think she says that because she's falling apart right now. She is absolutely hitting rock bottom, and she just wants to make it seem like she's getting more love than she probably actually is. She is huffing pure grade A copium right now.
But yeah, I'm super excited for like DBT therapy, and it's really gonna like it's gonna be it. It's gonna be it, and I'm gonna feel a lot better.
She is clearly just making this up. First of all, just as a little nitpick, DBT stands for dialectical behavior therapy. So saying DBT therapy is saying dialectical behavior therapy. But again, that's a little nitpick. But everybody that I've heard from, and I've gotten a lot of emails, and I'm going to be going over those pretty soon, have been talking about how DBT is a grueling, difficult, hard, year-long commitment that is really, really not for the faint of heart. And the fact that she's out here just saying, oh, I'm just so excited for it, you guys. It's going to be it. It's going to be everything. Like, I mean, the only two options are she is just making that up. She just heard DBT and is just like, yeah, this is going to be a good thing for me to say that I'm doing. Or she doesn't know what she's getting herself into. And we know that as soon as she starts something hard, she will quit it immediately. I am betting that she is not going to be doing it at all.
Address the Beck and Destiny tea. Like, it was text messages from 9 years ago. So like, I've had people message me and they like were genuinely like, Amberlynn, you were like crying for love. Like, you know, at the time Destiny was like my favorite person, like when Destiny first broke up with me, and it was hard. Like, Destiny literally cheated on me.
She's playing the victim again. It was, instead of, wow, I was unhinged, that was really awful. You were crying for love, Amberlynn. We can see it. We can see that you were crying for love.
I don't know, for it to happen like so suddenly and like out of nowhere, it was rough to like lose your favorite person. And you know, I moved to Florida and then Kentucky to be with Destiny. So then for Destiny to do that, like, I was lost. I was confused. Enjoy Dana. Like, Dana is...
Yeah, Destiny had a way of basically just standing up to Amberlynn and shutting her down. And I think it's because Amberlynn just was infatuated. And yeah, I think she absolutely is right. Destiny was her favorite person. But the thing is, she was like that to everybody. It wasn't just Destiny. She was controlling and manipulative and gaslighting to everybody.
How am I always in a relationship? I'm not in one anymore, as of a few fucking days ago.
So what she's trying to say there is that her and Tommy were still together until that post that Tommy made about Colleen that threw Amber into a rage, right? That threw her into a tizzy. And then Amber went on her Instagram live, and so this one says, Are you upset and or confused? Tommy is talking about you on her post comments.
Oh, for sure, because that's not the stuff she was saying to me 3 nights ago.
The whole drama between Emily and Amber happened. She's trying to say that they were actually in a relationship until that happened. Yeah, okay, girl. Whatever.
Amberlynn shows text messages and people are like, that's not receipts. They show text. That's receipts.
Yeah, so the text that Amber shows are just little bitty snippets, right? Little pieces, and she's blocked out everything before and after. And it is very clear that she's using some part of a conversation that she thinks she can use to prove her point. And all the context is missing. And Beck and Destiny are showing the entire conversations. And there are parts of those conversations that make Beck and Destiny look not so great, but they're showing the entire thing. But Amberlynn shows just enough to where she thinks she can prove her point. And we also have years and years and years of Amberlynn lying about almost everything. So when she shows quote unquote evidence, we can't really take it all that seriously because we know she would use out of context text messages to try to paint a narrative.
Why can't it just be like, you know what? Fuck it. All of it at once. All of it at once. So that I can heal and just improve. I've been able to make.
You know, she came on to a live stream. She's sitting in front of a bunch of people online. If she wants to heal, she can do that. She can cry and do whatever she wants. But no, she's got to get in front of a camera and make sure people see her cry. This is all so disingenuous.
I get past so many fucking bullshits in my life. This is
So many bullshits, you guys. She has made it past so many bullshits.
just another bullshit feeling that I feel. There's just a lot of haters that like, they don't see me as a person with feelings.
I mean, we see you as a person and you do have some kind of feelings, but you're a horrible person who does horrible things and you never ever change. You will never change your behavior. And so all these people that you claim are haters, what they're doing is just calling you out on your bad behavior and you can't handle it. Isn't it wild that no matter how bad we think Amberlynn is, she just keeps getting worse? And she's so unself-aware that she just keeps making it worse for herself. You know, a lot of what's happening to her is her own fault. I mean, all of what's happening to her is her own fault. So I am here for it, you guys. What a time to be alive in Girl World. I appreciate you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.